Okay, 5 right, 5 down in the colour grid, and darkness are Adobe colour because it's winter time sort of thing. 49 area focus for walking about generally. Colour on the rule of focus will generally betray us in the car, so it doesn't go in and out of focus, but I don't think that's quite as good for walking about. Now, here's our creek line. As you can see, it drops off quite a bit, at least one house height, I suppose, if not a little bit more than a house height down there. So, and it's quite wide from bank to bank. So you've got to ask yourself the question, what eroded this out, and when was the erosion, and how long ago was it? Did we used to have water flows much greater in the past? Like 300,000 years ago or something, or have the water flows been stopped by damming in the area in the last, nearly 200 years, I suppose, because we were colonised here in the 1830s, much earlier in the eastern states, of course, but quite a young state. The first major Happy Valley Reservoir was amazingly built in 1898, in about a year, I think it was. It only took them about a year to build the wall, so not bad. Anyway, usually I used to be able to go through here. This is acacia thorn bush. Green's not too bad, but the dead spines are much worse, and my hat has come off. There it is. Okay, I'm just going to go down here because there were some liverworts on the bank down here, and I'm just going on the theory. I don't know if you can see that yellow in the distance there. That's an acacia there. Is it? No, it's not. It's yellowing leaves of, is it blackberry? I thought it was an acacia. No. Yellowing leaves, is it blackberry? I don't know. No, it's something else. No, because usually blackberry drops all its leaves around about August, doesn't it? It's very, very late in the season. Is it July, August sort of thing? Just as it sort of drops in a total dormancy, it's about to come back out again sort of thing. If my memory serves me correctly, it could be wrong there, but anyway. Just walking around here, going for a walk, you see. Trying to get in 4 walks a day now. 4 50-minute walks, so this will be a 50-minute walk. And yeah. Because I know when I go on a walk for 50 minutes, I perspire or sweat for about 15 minutes. Whereas back in the 90s when I was doing exercise, used to do an hour's exercise and sweat the whole time. So basically 4 walks, 15 minutes of perspiration equals 1 hour back in the 90s basically. That's what I'm working on anyway. We've got Deadly Nightshade down here. Now somewhere along the creek line, when the water was flowing, we used to have some liverworts. I'm seeing if they've come back or not. See if I can pick them up. Because I've noticed that liverworts come back very quickly to the dormant, and they come back very quickly, within days. Seemingly nothing there, and then 3 or 4 days later, you've got a fully formed liverwort that's come back from dormancy. You can check that out for yourselves. I'm not kidding you. They come back so fast within a few days. A colour check on the red and black. Black's not colour, is it? It's the absence of colour. Now we usually have some rumex around here, but obviously that's either dormant or hasn't come from seed yet. It hasn't germinated. But they can actually. Plantago, a bit sort of, what do you call it, sullen and dehydrated. I'm just rambling, fellas. Oh wow, good pair of scissors there. I'll leave that there for the kids. They probably Probably need that for whatever they do down here after school, making their cubbies and stuff. Yeah, so as you can see, the good height down there, you know, at least a roof height. Yeah, anyway. But as I said, if you look up videos like Walk Along the Creek Line, there's a few of them. I think I've done at least two, maybe 3 trips down here. October of October of 2018, I think it was, after I came back from WA, I think. So you might want to look that one. I could be wrong with the dates here, but yeah. So anyway, okay, international news. I think quite a lot of us are rooting for Putin. I think that's spelled RUTIN apostrophe PUTIN apostrophe. Put that on a t-shirt. Oh yeah, it's getting crazy now. Ukraine, yes, Ukraine. Not Putin. This is Ukraine. Supposedly the good guys, according to the West's media, have turned off the gas to Europe. Crazy. So Germany's in for a nasty cold winter coming up, I say. And as you get older in life, the days go faster, so it's not going to be long before yeah, it's not going to be long. Yeah. And yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, because over there we can go down there, and then you have this side of it. It's almost like we got a natural weir, in a way, a meandering weir sort of thing. So how the creek gets from one side to the other is, we probably will be exploring further in the future, because the water does flow quite quickly when the water comes. Well, as I say, the wettest month here is scientifically is June. Comes right at the end of the June usually, so everyone thinks, oh, end of June. It's almost like goes into July, so everyone thinks here that it's July. But it's not. And from memory, we get about 600 mils a year, roughly. It can vary, of course. I believe that's so. I could be wrong. We'll put it this way, between 600 and 800, I suppose. So it's not much, is it, really? That's mils, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll probably take a different road down here and go off down some of the side roads or something today. That's for bonus specials, I suppose. And there's also some people on the roads out there, sort of thing. So, anyway, back to the international news. Yeah, so Germany's in for a bit of a rude awakening. We've got other countries like Finland and Sweden being rushed into NATO. Poland is apparently going to send 9,000 troops into the western part of Ukraine, I think, because we're on the border there, of course. Is this going to be the first time Putin's actually going to use a vacuum bomb, one of these 1 mile vacuum bombs, which I think are substitutes for these supposed cruise missiles that started rearing their ugly heads, or those nose cones back in the, what was it, in the 80s, wasn't it? Wasn't it Margaret Thatcher and the cruise missiles or something? Isn't that when the cruise missiles started coming out? Yeah. Scott Cullen. Yeah, I'm in the big dick energy part of the prohibition area there, so in case you were wondering, we always like a bit of big dick energy in the neighbourhood. Yeah, I'm joking, of course, but come on. Gotta make you laugh somehow, especially my friend over in Table Mountain views or whatever it is, South Africa. Got to get him out into the bush more, into the veld or the veld, or however he says it with his Afrikaans accent, and the well, I call it the Fimbus, but they call it the Fine Bosch or something. Well, if it was Bosch, surely it would be spelt Bosch, B-O-S-C-H or whatever. You know. What a difference an S can make. Yes, I know. So, yeah. The video starts off with one of the walk along creek. It starts off me filming this when it's in total bloom. That's weird. That flowering now, that's weird. It must be because of a street lamp or something. Oh, it's probably this this sensor up here. It probably has some sort of light attached to it, and people walk by. It puts the light on it. It's tricking the in the bush into flowering or something. Because that shouldn't be flowering until October. I have filmed it, as I said, in October. Yeah, most of these things run for I don't know, 3 weeks is the standard amount, and yeah. Should we go down? Yeah, we might as well go down. You never know. Oh, magnolias in flower, yes. Go up to Mount Lofty Botanic Gardens, you can see a lot of those, but unfortunately, I think they need to put a cable car or something, and I'm getting really hot. I'm not coming down with the dreaded Flurona. Yeah, this is the new one now, Flurona. The BA strain or whatever it was, I think, of the Rona stands. Now, I had to look this up. They don't tell you these things. You know, you think, you know, if they're so into this stuff, they'd be telling you down there. BA apparently stands for Bay Area. So what they're saying, it's totally gay fag or something. I don't know. The Flurona is going to be... You're going to have a totally gay fag winter with the Flurona this year or something. I don't know. It's all this sort of rubbish that's going on at the moment. Anyway, back to European news. As I said, Poland's going to put 9,000 troops into the west of Ukraine, and I reckon the old Putin is going to just vacuum bomb them. You know, bang, one bomb, 1 square mile, boom, they're gone. And he's probably going to yell into the camera, Gonski! I don't know, but I don't know. As I say, yes, play silly games, win silly prizes or something. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. He's... I think Putin's a bit like a George Washington type, you know. He's dead honest. You know, you fuck with me, you're bloody, you know. Well, Alexander the Great, his pet peeve his whole life was liars, basically. You know, because you can't trust them. They're divisive. You end up dividing resources of what they're telling you and things like that. So yeah, it's terrible if you want to go on a campaign or something. So whenever you found a purposeful lie, I'm talking about purposeful liars here. You know, people that do it on purpose for ill-gotten gains. Yeah, backlisters. I know you like him, but yeah, some of these streets are lovely, and they got some really kooky little houses on things. You know, going back to the 60s, 70s. Well, some of them go back as far as the 60s, when this whole area was, you know, basically in the sticks sort of thing. So better check I'm still filming. Yeah, because I think this is going to be a 20-minute. Yeah, transformers on the old Stovey poles. Yeah, they're called Stovey poles. Basically, they're just 2 railway rails or lines. Well, not lines, rails. They're both joined together. A man called Mr. Stovey. Yeah, as you can see, the grey clouds are coming, and we're going to have our first major rain. 3 days of rain. Wow, that's what I talk about. 70% one day, 50 another, 40 another, something. Yeah, I mean, as I said, since we've had the people, yeah, see cookie houses like that. That's what I'm saying. As I said, going back, some of them go back way back to the 60s, mainly 70s and 80s. Mainly the 80s, as this area was really started to become developed. As I said, my street I'm living on used to be called Dove Street back then, but now it's become the major arterial road through Aberfoyle Park sort of thing. I think, as I said, Aberfoyle Park, it's the the best suburb in Adelaide, I reckon. It's a fine blend of urban and rural with small patches of pristine bushland dotted in between, sort of thing. So you can always go out bush, sort of thing. And as I say, this country, the Aussie bush is our religion, sort of thing. See, it's not a faith-based religion. Faith is belief without proof, of course. For those who didn't know, you're believing in something and there's no you can't pull up any proof. You can't put up a God signal and wow, he's just turned up. There's your proof. He does exist. No, none of that. None of that. As I say to people, you're more likely to get Batman to turn up from the Marvel universe than God if you put up a God signal. And what is the God signal going to be? Is it going to be a candelabrum? Is it going to be a cross? I mean, yeah, this is a good one. You can either go up that way or you can go up this way, if I remember rightly. But, so, as I say, our Aussie bush here is basically our religion, because it's consistent. You get bushfires. The bush gets burned down, but the trees seem to almost grow back or don't seem to move. They seem to grow back in the same places, sort of thing. It's all sort of regulated, sort of thing. So that gives you a sense of consistency, a dependability, things you can rely on. But it's also evidence, so it's like a proof, sort of thing, in a way, sort of thing. You can rely on the Aussie bush that our rainforests, when they get burnt down, they grow back. Whereas places like Indonesia, where they grow all these oil palm plantations and they cut down their rainforests, I can't understand why they didn't put in small islands of natural rainforest in between, like a square kilometre. A bit like over in WA, the way they're cutting out these sort of honeycombing the native bush over in WA, which is, as a friend from my partner's who's from WA, he went back and he almost fell to his knees when he saw these places. They've got these roads with signs saying do not go down here. It's I think it's $5,000 fine per tyre if you drive down these roads or something. I think you walk 10 or something. Had to walk in about a kilometre to get to this cutout that's like kilometre by kilometre. And he said it was just devastating. Absolutely clear felled on this 1 square kilometre. So anyway, so we'll walk around here. As you can see, the leaves on the trees are starting to whittle and wane, and when the days dwindle down to a precious few. Yeah, as I said, there's some nice houses in here, some really interesting kooky ones from lots of lovely architecture, and and it's not too hilly. There are places you can do the old Roman road thing where you can walk in one little motorised gopher here and there and not have to go up or downhill too much, and there's not too much flooding or anything. It goes down well-defined creek lines. You know when it's coming, when it's going to be on the John Wayne sort of thing. Seeing all this signage is not a good sign before an election, I don't think. That one's been sold. Yeah. Anyway. So, where do I want to go? Because that takes you around to the school. No, I don't want to go down there. Back down. It's not good filming around the school, especially this time of the day, sort of thing. So, it's about 1:30 now, I think. If I've been filming for about 20 minutes. Doing the old usual gas bag and the old Barry Myers race. Pan and pause, sort of like. So you pan, you pause, you pan, you pause, so you give time for the focus to go in. You pan, you pause, you pan and you pause. And you know, if you're out in the out doing something, you would actually practice that with a few ancillary clips, sort of thing, getting your pan, your pause in for the actual landscape location you're in, sort of thing. You know, replay it back on your laptop or whatever. You know, as I said, Australia's sort of, I know, part of the population is like 10 years behind the other